The first protocol that we discussed was about retinal vein occlusion. So we were trying to find out what is the prevalence of retinal vein occlusion in patients attending Sitapurai Hospital. What is the proportion of patients that get retinal vein occlusion in patients attending Sitapurai Hospital? So if B number of patients attend the Sitapurai Hospital, A have retinal vein occlusion. This is the number that we are trying to find out. The second thing we were trying to find out is what causes retinal vein occlusion. So some said that it is diabetes, some said it was hypertension, some said it was dyslipidemia, and some said that it's a combination of these three, which is called as the metabolic syndrome. And some said it was a rare condition called homocystinuria. What we were trying to determine by this study was the association between hypertension and RVO, the association between diabetes and RVO, the association between dyslipidemia and RVO, and the rarer ones. So we decided that whatever we have easily, we'll be able to do. The table that we wanted to make was RVO positive, RVO negative. And let us say B blood pressure or hypertension positive, hypertension negative. So if you make a table like this, and you have numbers here. Let us say 20 had this, 40 had this, and in the hypertension negative group only, let us say 10 out of 30, 10 out of 40 had this. Then you must understand the first number that you get is the risk of having RVO given that you have hypertension. So that risk comes out to be 20 upon 40. Then if you talk of odds, the odds come out to be 20 upon 40. So the risk comes out to be 20 upon 60. See, this number is 60. Because this denominator contains the numerator and it can never be more than 1. But the odds is 20 upon 40. Same way, the risk in hypertension negative patients was 10 upon 50, because 50 is the row total here, and the odds are 10 upon 40. And this becomes the risk ratio 20 upon 60 divided by 10 upon 50. 10 upon 50. So this becomes the relative risk or the risk ratio. And this 20 upon 40 divided by 10 upon 40 becomes the odds ratio. And you can, supposing Here the risk was, you can calculate this relative risk, but I'll tell you how to do it. But you can get these numbers two ways. One, you take hypertension positive, hypertension negative, follow them up log in time and see who developed RVO and who did not develop RVO. But the other way is that you take RVO positive, RVO negative, this is the case and this is the control, and find out who had hypertension and who did not have hypertension. So this is the cross-sectional study design. So when you take one control for one case, the prevalence becomes, for example, if you take 20, here you have taken 30 cases and you have taken 80 controls. So the case control ratio here is about between 2 and 3. So for every case, you have taken about 2 controls. So this is the case control ratio, and this is the way you will determine the relationship between hypertension and hypertension positive and negative. All right. Same way you can go with diabetes. You can make a table here, and you can go with dyslipidemia, so on and so forth. And in this one-to-one analysis, which is called as univariate analysis, where one thing like hypertension is associated with retinal vein occlusion, this univariate analysis is called as univariate because there is one explanation only, and this usually gives crude results, crude odds ratio or crude risks. But if you take all the significant determinants, this may be significant, diabetes may be significant, dyslipidemia may not be significant. So then you use what is called as multivariate analysis. Here what happens is the probability of RVO, chance of RVO will be equal to, probability of RVO will be equal to, you can say probability, this is the probability number, this is the odds number. The probability or the odds of having RVO will be equal to some number, which is the unexplained part, plus beta 1, all right, the association, and let us say x1. x1 is diabetes, yes or no, or blood sugar levels. Then it can be beta 2 or HB1AC levels. Then it can be beta 2, x2. So diabetes and hypertension. Here x2 is, so x1 is diabetes and x2 is hypertension. So here two variables will determine the probability of having RVO in your study population, and this association is adjusted for hypertension. So when you get the value of this, it is adjusted odds. The adjusted odds are the exponential of this beta 1. So it is adjusted for hypertension. So this is the principle of multivariate analysis that you will use in this case. And the major problem was how to get these values in controls. So those patients coming to Sitapur Eye Hospital who do not have RVO and in which you have tested for hypertension, diabetes or dyslipidemia, you can take those age and sex matched as controls of patients having RVO. So this was what was discussed in number 1. The second was childhood glaucoma. You were trying to say epidemiology. If this is your total population and this much population is coming to the Sitapur Eye Hospital, then epidemiology refers to this, not to this. And here what you are trying to say, that you would find out the CRF classification of patients of glaucoma reporting to the Sitapur Eye Hospital in this. So, supposing this is the CRF classification, this is type 1, this is type 2, this is type 3. So, you are trying to find out, report the numbers, how many had this, how many had this, and how many had this. So, with what you have to do is that this is on your study population, but what would be in the target population? Alright, what will be in the universe? So for each estimate of proportion, supposing 1, this is the table, this many had 1, this many had 2, this many had 3, and this is the total. So let us say 10 had this, 20 had this, 40 had this, and the total is 30 and 40, 70. So here the number is 10 upon 70, here the number is 20 upon 70, and here the number is 40 upon 70. Now each of these numbers will have a confidence interval. These are point estimates, and you will have a confidence interval around them. That means instead of saying 10 upon 70, you can say 9 upon 70 to 12 upon 70. And if this is a 95% confidence interval, it means that if you do 100 such trials, you do it 100 times, 95 times the value will be between this number and this number. So this is the childhood glaucoma study in which you are trying to apply the CRF classification on the study population, and you want to generalize it to the general population. So you are converting this point estimate into an interval estimate, and that interval estimate is defined by 95% confidence interval. You have 95% confidence that if the study is repeated 100 times, the values of this proportion will lie between 9 upon 70 to 12 upon 70. So this is the epidemiology study that you are planning. Thank you.